I would have literally killed to have a video like this last summer. Ella Snyder here, back again making a video about the one thing I know about, and that is art school. My hair's uneven. I tried to cut it myself. I don't want to talk about it. Hi everyone, I'm Ella and welcome back to my channel. I'm an art student, so naturally I make videos about art school sometimes. I go to the new school in New York City. I study at Parsons and I study photography and a lot of other things. Today I'm making a video that is my first installment of the art school / college survival guide series that I plan on doing if I commit to it. This is going to be my advice for your first year at art school. Maybe if you're already in art school, this video will still be helpful, I hope. Maybe if you don't even plan on going to art school but you're headed to college next year, this video will still be helpful. Or maybe you just clicked on this video and you don't know why you're here. I think you should still stay because it will be a good time. So first things first, the living situation. I had lived away from home before when I was going into college. I did a semester program in California, but I had never had a roommate before and I had never like fully been independent before. I did not know what to expect going into college because 1, I didn't know how to cook, 2, I had never had a roommate before, and 3, I had never lived in New York City before, which was absolutely terrifying and exciting all at the same time. So yeah, let's talk about the roommate thing first. Like I said, I had never had a roommate before and I really did want one, just because I had never had siblings and I was lonely. And yeah, I kind of just put the burden of curing my loneliness on my roommate. So yeah, finding the perfect roommate was important to me, and I really do think that I had the best roommate I could have possibly asked for. Mary, if you're watching this, I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to be your roommate again next year. But yeah, I found my roommate through the admitted students Facebook group. I feel like every college has one of these, and I'm really sorry that this video is going up late because I know that some of you may have already had to pick a roommate already or like put down a housing deposit, all of that stuff. I know for me, I think mine was due on June 15th, so if this video gets up before June 15th, that's good. I found my roommate through the admitted students Facebook group. Don't be the kind of person that posts in it all the time and like makes set friendships based off of it, because that stuff just never ends up working out. Half of the people that you talk to through the group when you get to school, you're gonna realize that they're just like not your cup of tea, and that's fine. I bit the bullet and made an introductory post on the Facebook group. I was just like, hey. I said, yo, I'm Ella, smiley face. I recently committed to Parsons for photography and thought I would go ahead and properly introduce myself here. A little bit about me. I go to an arts high school in Boston and I have a background in fine art. I'm also really into fashion and that whole scene and hope to minor in fashion communication. Still true. I make YouTube videos that are primarily fashion based. In my free time, I like taking photos of my friends, going thrift shopping, watching movies, and cooking. I don't know why I said that because I don't cook and I never have. I can make frozen pizza and that's literally about it. Mac and cheese too, and ice and cereal. So I don't know why I said I like to cook, but I was hoping to like look cool, I guess. I also currently work at Brandy Melville, LOL. Then I listed a few movies that I love, a few TV shows, and some music that I was currently listening to. And I included both some of my photography and pictures of myself. And that was how I asked for a roommate. And I also really liked using the site RoomSurf. This video is literally not sponsored at all. I had to actually look up what it was called before making this video so I could remember. But yeah, it's called RoomSurf, and you can share it among the admitted students Facebook group, and it just basically asks a lot of questions about what your living style is like, and it will tell you all of the people in the group who also took the quiz and their compatibility with you in living situations. And that's kind of how I fell into Mary, kind of. That sounds really weird. I also am guilty of just going through the Facebook group and looking at people's profile pictures and judging them off of their profile pictures, and I liked Mary's and I followed her on Instagram, and then I saw that we were compatible and she liked the same things as me, and then we decided to be roommates and it worked out really, really well. And yeah, everyone's experience is going to be different, but that's just how I did it, and it worked out really well, and I'm so lucky and I love her. But yeah, that's how I like got my roommate situation figured out. Then we kind of discussed together where we wanted to live. We both decided we wanted to live on campus. I honestly really do recommend living in dorms your first year, just because it is such an integral part of building a community, and also just making friends is so much easier when you're living in a building with like 700 other kids that are your age and interested in the same things as you. We decided to live in dorms, and we were great roommates, and I love her, and we're still gonna be roommates next year. And yeah, that's kind of how I figured out my living situation. As for the food part, I kind of relied on my meal plan first semester and never cooked. And then second semester, I switched my meal plan over to money that I could spend at like grocery stores and restaurants, and I started eating out more and buying like amateur groceries like pasta and stuff like that, and just eating like pasta and toast and frozen chicken patties that were vegan. So the next thing that I feel like people are probably concerned with at this point in the summer is registering for classes, because I feel like that is something that is coming up / happening right now. I know for me at the new school, we weren't allowed to register for classes until we had done like a Zoom meeting, I think they're called. And basically in that, it's just like a Skype session with one of the first year academic advisors, and they just tell you all of the classes that you're required to take as a freshman. Just follow the instructions of your school, whether it's Parsons or not, and you will take the classes that are required, and I'm sure you'll find electives that are fun and all of that. Use the course catalog, look through it, see what sounds interesting to you and what seems like something that's going to fit into your career path that you were planning for yourself. If you don't have a career path, just take something fun, enjoy yourself, it's college. And yeah, I also really recommend using Rate My Professor. Again, not sponsored, although I use that website literally every registration period, and highly recommend it. Rate My Professor is really helpful. It's basically just a website where you can look up the name of any professor in the course catalog, literally for any school, and hopefully they'll have a profile on there. And people can be really harsh, but it's basically like an anonymous forum where people talk about their experiences with that professor and rate them out of 5 stars. And I definitely did not listen to the ratings my first semester, and had some teachers that, while I did learn a lot from them, definitely was not the best experience. So yeah, use Rate My Professor. Don't rely too much on it, because obviously everyone's experience with the teacher is going to be different. So that's basically all I was super worried about before actually going to school, and then a lot of other things kind of came up along the way throughout my first year, and I'm just going to talk about those pretty quickly, hopefully within 7 minutes, because that's all the time left on my SD card. So let's talk about having a style. Now, I feel like a lot of people going into art school kind of have this like self-confidence, which is really important to have, but they also are like kind of stuck in only having like one style of art, whether you're an illustrator or a photographer or a fashion designer or a painter or a sculptor. I feel like people get stuck on the idea that like every accomplished artist has a style that they stick to, and therefore that means that they need to do that too and have one style that they work in. And I feel like that's so BS when you're an art student. Like, when you're in school, the whole point is to learn and to try new things and kind of explore, because if you're going to go in with a mindset that you can only stick to one style, you're never really going to grow. And yeah, you're just going to be stuck making things that look the same over and over and over again. And I really think that if you are paying so much money to be there, you should really explore all of your options. No artist kind of just picked one thing and stuck to it ever since they started creating things. They had to go through the same process, and so should you. So try out everything. Don't stick to one style. Don't claim one style as yours, because at this point literally nothing is original. And yeah, explore. That's really it. The next thing I want to talk about are critiques. People that aren't in art school, I don't know what the critiquing process is like. I know people critique writing and all of that stuff, but when it comes to art, critiques I feel like are so big at art schools. I feel like every assignment I have done, we've at some point had a critique for it, whether it was halfway through or right after we finished the assignment. And something that I realized in my first year is that people are way too nice in critiques. And I'm not saying like go up to someone and tell them their art's ugly, because that's not helpful at all. It's not helpful to be straight up rude. the point of a critique is to give constructive criticism. Actually give advice on how something could be better. Don't look at something and say, I like it, and then when someone asks why, just say because that's dumb, and don't do vice versa where you would say, I don't like it, and when someone asks why, just say because. Tell someone the reason why you like or don't like their piece. Tell them how it could be improved. Tell them how you would change it personally, because that is how people grow and get more ideas. And yeah. Learn how to be a good critic before going to art school, because I realized at the end of my year I had wasted so much of my time and everyone else's by either being too nice or flat up mean about their art, and people did the same thing to me. So don't waste people's time and don't waste your own time. You're there to grow and you're there to help others grow. So yeah. The two next things that I wanted to say kind of go hand in hand, but it's just when you're going to college, or to be more specific, when you're going to art school, you are entering a new environment with a bunch of new people from very different places and very different backgrounds, and they are all going to have different ideas than you. That being said, you should stick to what feels most authentic to you when it comes to creating. Don't change who you are and what you create based off of who you think is going to see it and who you think is going to like it. Also, you are going to realize that a lot of things that you make you don't like, because you're experiencing so many new things and realizing so many different ways that your art could be better. I know for me, when I first got to school, I had a huge epiphany and I was like, oh my god, so many of the things that I was making are really freaking corny. Yeah, I really feel like I'm all over the place with this, but I realized that a lot of what I was making is corny, and because of that, I listened to what everyone else had to say about my work and critiques, and I changed, and I'm now at a place where I'm much happier with what I am creating. I feel like I really came full circle with that one. Trust your gut and never copy the ideas of others. It is so much better to be original than it is to be kind of like inauthentic and all of that BS. I feel like every college puts a huge emphasis on like plagiarism and all of that stuff. I feel like people don't realize that plagiarism goes towards ideas as well as like final products. So yeah, don't copy other people's ideas. I think that's like a no-brainer, but everyone should hear it before going into art school. Trust your gut. Do what you think will look cool and not what you hear other people are doing. Be original. Last but not least, if my camera doesn't fucking run out of storage, art school is still college. I feel like people go into the environment, especially in New York City, with the mentality that it is like a competition. It's like an America's Next Top Model, and they're like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win. Like, art school is not that. It is still college, and you should use that time to make friends and lifelong friendships and connections that you can use and love for the rest of your life. Don't forget to network, because that's important too, but like, yeah, enjoy yourself. It is not a competition. No one is going to win best artist at the end of the day. You're there to learn, and you're there to have a new life experience. Remember how I was saying I was going to run out of storage on my SD card? Well, that happened. I really did say everything that I wanted to say in this video. I hope you found at least one thing helpful. If you did, let me know. My Instagram DMs are always open, as well as the comment section of my videos. If there's anything that I didn't touch upon, also let me know, because I would love to turn this one video into a series before school starts or throughout the school year. Like I said, I did not have any of this when I was going into school, and I would have absolutely loved to have any piece of advice. So yeah, that's really it. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I do try to post videos at least once a week, most of the time, more often than that. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.